So again, some real quality in this field. Natalie Rule, looking to have her best season in many years amongst them. Abby Caldwell, the junior, who's done so many great things on the Milers Club meets this season, and also we talked about that World Cross Country trial just the other week in Canberra, looking good. But it's going to be our Japanese visitor. Set the tempo out in front. They've lodged some seed times in the low 9 minutes. And of those two Japanese athletes, they are 1 and 2 with Tara Palm at the moment, and Nat Rule tucked in behind them. So Tara Palm there, prominent over multiple distances right up to the half marathon. Had some great 10K performances as well. Has represented Australia at various levels, and she's joined by Natalie Rule and our two Japanese visitors. I would imagine we're looking at a sub 9 minute run for them if they get it right tonight. Stella Radford, we talked about her prominence in the steeplechase. She's the Melbourne University athlete in 5th, the tall figure. Caldwell just behind her. And then there's a pack of very talented Victorian track and cross-country runners. Some coming up from the 1500, some stepping down from XCR seasons like Kaya Fry, who was superb from Frankston. That whole crew of athletes from her squad this season have been running very well. We saw Katie Egan, a member of her crew, outstanding at the New South Wales Championships the other day over 5,000 metres with a personal best. You can't complain about that when you go into state. But who needs to go to Sydney when you can be here running at Box Hill? So again, I'll try to give you a name in a minute of it. Two of our Japanese athletes, first and second. Just missing a hip number here. I think we've got some pace on in front. We do actually have some pace there. So Hironaka from Japan, she's number 5, and she's got some pace leading through. Tara Palm, then the next one on the track. Natalie Rule behind them, and Stella Radford will pilot the rest of our field. So we are getting pace. We'll wait to see what tempo it is when we go through 1K. But it's a solid tempo. It's a tempo good enough that it's dropped the pack by about 30 metres. So actually there's only 3 race leaders in that group of 4 because we have some pace on. And as we said, it's Hironaka from Japan, who will go through the 800 and 225, or 227 it was. Natalie Rule looking comfortable behind Tara Palm. Tim, you can tell me a little bit more. I've seen her run for Australia just a couple of different distances, but a prominent 10K runner as well.
Here's Tara Palm, yeah, and also up to 15K, probably not going to the half marathon. They're on 9:10 pace thereabouts at the moment, so the Japanese girls doing a great job, and the recipients of that pacing, as we see, are Palm and also Rule. Gap back then to Radford and also Caldwell. But Palm has been having some great stoushes in South Australia recently with Caitlin Adams, and has both lifted them. We've seen Adams now go on to the World Cross Country stage as a result of some of the very good racing Tara Palm has served up to her, both in Victoria and over in South Australia.
So 3:04, Tim, so 3:04, so 9:12 tempo through that 1K. If the girls can kick down like the boys did, there's no reason they won't go very close to that 9-minute range.
Now we're seeing some interesting moves too. Lucy Buckley's just starting to come on the side there, I think, of Rourke. But Stella Radford leading that second pack, and she's got Caldwell and also Wilson just with her. So they're moving along quite nicely too, Nick. So it's moving, the race is setting up very nicely here for the majority of these runners. Just seeing a little bit of a gap between Fry and DeBont. Then we've got Dixon, and I think the third of the Japanese runners there. So pace certainly on the top 4. They are moving along very nicely. So Nat Rule sitting in that 4th position. She doesn't need to do anything at the moment. The pace is solid. It's sitting at about that 9:10 to 9:15. Let's see if they can just keep that momentum going as they come through. We'll just try and get a time check.
So Tim, 1500 coming up very shortly. And the girls sort of still they've probably dropped back to about a 9:20 tempo here. It's 4:38, so 9:16.
9:16 thereabouts. So yeah, the pace has come off just slightly. You know, it's only 1 or 2 seconds per lap, but that does count in the overall scheme of things. I'm not sure if we're going to see a huge kick down. If anyone, it could be Rule. Though. Look at the way she's just coming on the shoulder of Tara Palm there, and that to me indicates that Nat Rule is still feeling very comfortable.
I think we're going to expect some good things at the end of this season. That's slowly been building over the last 18 months. As we said, a bit of a breakaway after her attempted World Junior year and just been building really nicely. A quality stint up at Falls Creek, like many of our Victorians, obviously, but I think her work was a little bit longer than some of the others. And tonight might be the night we see what she can do. I think nice kick down here with some 2 international visitors from Japan. He's setting a solid tempo for Tara Palmer, South Australia, and Nat Rule, our #1 Victorian on the track at the moment, who've put about 60 metres on that pack led by Caldwell.
Yeah, but it's interesting that Caldwell's now leading that pack, and I think they're starting to slowly bridge that gap slightly. So Abby Caldwell, congratulations to her as well. She's off to Denmark for the World Cross Country, coming 4th in the trial. Rourke's still looking pretty good, sitting off the back of Charlotte Wilson as Caldwell suddenly gets a 5-metre gap on them. Buckley's still looking pretty good. Then it's Radford, also Guy and Fry.
Interesting here. I think Lucinda Rourke's on track for a big PB, Tim. She's a junior on the rise very quickly, and that 9.53 tonight, I imagine, might go if she continues the vein of form that she's in right now.
We'd expect that though, Nick. This is one quality runner. Once again, very well managed over the bridge there with the Matthews stable.
So what are we now? We are at 1K to go. 1K to go, 6.15, Tim. So it's still on for about that 9.20 tempo. There's no reason they can't kick down and give us a little bit quicker.
But guess what? It's Tara Palm who's taken the lead here. So that's a good move by Palm. She is a brave runner. Tara does not leave anything out there. And we've seen that a few times this year, or sorry, this season in Victoria.
And I may have incorrectly called here. I thought that was a pacemaker working there, but can't give you a name for it. But our second Japanese competitor here is still hanging on. She's not just pacemaking her teammate through. So Tara Palm goes through. We do have a name there, and is it Hironaka from Japan and Natalie Rule, the 4th of that group. And as we said, Abby Caldwell now made a bit of a split away from Charlotte Wilson and also Lucinda Rourke.
So Rourke's in a good position there just off the back of Wilson. That will drag her through, and there could be an interesting last lap between those two. Buckley's got the 800, 1500 metre speed, but can she sustain this 3000? Fry's starting to make a move. She's taking Guy with her.
But out in front, Tara Palm still controlling the field. 600 metres remaining, and they're going to go through in 7.22. So Palm, they haven't let her go though. Rule, as we said, just ready to strike at any stage. Will it be the bell that gives her the big spur on? Abby Caldwell, the only one really challenging from behind that. Wilson, Rourke, and also Radford, and there's a pack there with Fry and also Guy. But out in front, Tara Palm, 500 metres remaining. Our 2 Japanese visitors in 2nd and 3rd, looking very comfortable. But I don't know if they're going to have the kick down pace that we're going to see from Natalie Rule. Hope I haven't talked it up, but with 1 lap to go at 8 minutes, the girls are on track for a 9.10, 9.15. 8 minutes at the bell, Tara Palm leads them. Natalie Rule sitting 4th. The capped runner there, I can tell you. Her name is Ririka Hironaka. I do not have a name for the other Japanese competitor, I apologise. But Tara Palm with 300 to go, stalked by Japan in 2 and 3. Natalie Rule of Knox in 4.
So Rule's starting to make the move now, Nick. You did predict this. She's the one that's sitting there comfortably, and she's made a big move down the outside. About to challenge Palm, but don't put the glasses down on Palm. She is a fighter.
Natalie Rule, though, with 200 to go. She's got a beautiful stride, and she's opened up. As expected, we still don't have that Japanese competitor, and she's the one that's going to challenge. And just behind her, it's Hironaka. It's Ririka Hironaka from Japan. She came with a 9.10 seed time. She's the capped runner from Japan. In 2nd, Tara Palm fighting on hard in 3rd. Or in 4th, but it won't quite be enough because Natalie Rule from Knox, she's going to take away this victory. It won't be near a personal best, but it was a beautifully paced run, and it's been a big kick down, Tim. They are going to finish in 9.07, 9.08. Great running, ladies. Tara Palm in just on 9.11. Terrific racing.
It was good racing. That top 4, that really was impressive. They shared the lead around. No one just sat back. Well, maybe Rule sat back for the majority of the journey, but that was a good strategy. As we see Abby Caldwell coming through now. Clock's just going to go over the wrong side of 9.30 for Abby. So Charlotte Wilson will be in the next position. Gee, they're coming from the clouds now too as Rourke holds into the next position. Guy. Then we got Buckley, and then next of our Japanese runners, which is Kimura. And then Fry and Radford and Dixon coming into the straight for the last time to round out the field.
No, look, Tim, what a great race that was. We've seen some PBs in the middle of the field, plenty of PBs in the middle of the field. Abby Caldwell right on her personal best there, almost bang on 9:33, which I don't think she can complain about considering it's been a very busy preparation with that World Cross trial. And obviously Megan Dixon there, just a tick over 10 minutes to round out a quality ladies A race that was won by Natalie Rule of Knox.